Hey YouTube, it's Arwen of Tarot by Arwen, and I've been seeing the past couple of days a YouTube Pagan challenge about how did you find your path, and I thought I want to do that. Um, I think the Sea Priestess is the one that created this. I'm not positive. So, how did Arwen become a witch? Well, I'm Wiccan. That's my initial path. I still call myself Wiccan. I think witch also fits now. But back in the day, I didn't know what witchcraft was, right? I was raised an Episcopal kid in a southern home. Witchcraft really didn't even come up. It didn't even come up as oh, that's bad. To me, witches were Samantha on Bewitched and the Wicked Witch and Glinda the Good Witch. I really had a very simple view of what and who witches were. Fast forward, I'm in college, and I meet somebody that does tarot. She's not a witch. She's in the seminary program, I think. Kate, you'll have to remind me. But I knew that she was associated with the College of Theology at the college I went to. But she read tarot cards, so that was cool. And it's actually how I got started on tarot cards. And then, through that, during college, I also came out as a lesbian. I don't ID as a lesbian now. I ID as a queer femme. I'm married to a man who does understand. He knows all about my past. And no, he's not one of those, ew, do it with a woman. Yuck. He understands. He gets me. So that's very nice to have. But my pagan path, after part of the reason I didn't finish college is I met a woman, fell in love, and moved cross country. Well, that didn't work out so well. But I lived in Bowling Green, Ohio, and it was there that I started studying. There were 3 other women. One's name was Cheryl. Lane, I'm pretty sure you were one of them. It was you. I think it was you, Cheryl, Rona, and I were the 4 in that little group that kind of started there in BG. And we were women celebrating women's spirituality. I read books like by Merlin Stone. Oh, Goddess in the Mirror is the name of it, I think. I can't remember. A lot of what she said has been debunked now, but it was mind altering for me at the time to be told that there was a feminine aspect to God. Whoa, really? And we made flower crowns. We celebrated Sabbats and Esbats. It was a lovely group. I was also part of a group called Women for Women out of Bowling Green University, Bowling Green State University. I wasn't a college student. I simply worked with that group and volunteered my time. I was a dog groomer at the time, so I had pretty flexible hours. And from that group, I learned so much more. All these women, all these feminist lesbians, my mind was just blown open, right? I was, they teased me because I still carried a purse. I wouldn't shave my legs. It was fun stuff. I rebelled at one point and shaved one armpit and one leg and said, there, I'm half and half. But I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about how to be who I am, even in the midst of, no, you must be this way. And that's a struggle. That's a struggle I think we all go through, and it's not something that you just kind of, oh, I'm done with that. You have to keep working at it. But from there, that group, we decided, I don't remember even how this happened, but we invited Diane Stein to come to Bowling Green, and I believe she did a workshop, she did a ritual. She's a lovely, lovely human being. I recommend her books. I think she's a great writer. I really like the way she presents information. But anyway, Diane did a circle. It was Imbolc. I will remember that forever. And we talked to our ancestors, and we invited people from other, we advertised it, right? We were trying to make money from the workshop so we could pay for her coming and all of this. And so we had other people come. Some people came from Toledo, which was very close to Bowling Green, about 20-25 minutes, if you're driving fast. And 3 of the women there were a mother and her daughters. And I met them as Lady Lyanna, Ninian, and Phaedra. And really connected with Lyanna, connected with Ninian and Phaedra as well, but Lyanna and I really, there was something about her that spoke to me. Then I had this weird thing go on. I've talked about this in another video, so I won't really talk about it much here. And I called Lady Lyanna, because she'd give me her number, to ask her some questions. And in asking those questions, I also asked if I could come to an open ritual if they did them. She had told me they had them. She'd kind of put the invitation out there. And that's how I came to Wicca. I studied with Lady Lyanna and our coven, and it was Children of the Laughing Greenwood. They are still, I believe, in operation. I've lost contact with a lot of them. I know that at least one of the members passed away a few years ago. His name was Gandalf, and he was freaking amazing, y'all. Freaking amazing. He was an ex-Catholic priest, and I adored him. Still do. He used to come down. We used to go out to lunch sometimes when he lived, I think, in Detroit or Ann Arbor. He didn't live in the area, so he drove in, if I remember correctly. But from there, my path, I left Children of the Laughing Greenwood. I moved, so I was not physically present anymore. There was a little bit of an upset on me. I caused it. And it had to do with one of my exes, lesbian love, good Lord, and another coven member. It was ugly. But, you know, it's over with. God, that was 30, 40 years ago now. How long ago was that? Am I 55 this year? I was 23, 24, so about 30 years. Yeah, 30 years. I dedicated in 85, so there you go. Was it 85? I dither. But from there, I moved all over and kept up with my craft. I didn't stop. I kept up with my sabbats and my studies. And I made it to second degree within that group. Then I moved all over. Landed near Atlanta, Georgia, in a town called Griffin. And really hit it off with a lot of the Atlanta Pagans. Still friends with many of them. Hi, Susan. Hi, Ariel. And grew. We created a group. I began to teach people. My third degree happened, and I didn't have a ceremony. I didn't have anybody bestow third degree on me. It happened. It was a pretty crazy time. A lot of ups and downs that I went through. I married a man, and not the man I'm married to now, who was not pagan, but tolerant. I'll just say that. It's not that he was against it. It's just that he wasn't for it. It just didn't make any sense to him. So, but I had the Circle of the Black Dragonfly at that time, and I had amazing students, amazing women. I'm still in touch with all but one of them. I don't know how to get in touch with the other one. I may have to go out there and look her up and see if she's out there. But I'm still in touch with 3 of the 4. Elevated, how many of y'all did I elevate? 2? I know everybody made first, and then Sage, you went second, and I think that Luna went second. I can't remember who. It's been, again, a while. And then after that, I moved. That move was significant. While I still kept up with my path and my workings to some degree, it wasn't as much. It wasn't until I got to Denver, got back with a group. I find that I work best with groups. I like group work. I like covens. And at that time I was in a poly relationship, and the man and I were high priest and priestess of a group there. Do you know, I don't remember our name. I don't know if we were Black Dragonfly there as well. I may have taken the name with me. I don't. Also, if you're watching this, message me, or I'll message you on Facebook and ask you. Yes, I'm still friends with him, y'all. I am friends with almost every one of my exes on some level. Maybe not as close, maybe there's some trust issues, but I still know them. I still know what they're doing. And we're friends on Facebook. But that group in Colorado really fed me. We did a Sunday potluck called Sunday at Mother's. My partner's nickname was Mother. He got it in the military. Long story. And we also did ritual. We did open ritual. We did some closed. But it was a lovely group. We had, if you watch my funny circle stories video, the Christmas tree, the Yule tree story is from that group. And the connections I made from there led me to another group called College of Wicca and Old Lore, which was in Denver. It's gone now. The founder, Morning Glory, hi Morning Glory, is still up in, I think she's back in Denver. I think she went to Arkansas. I think she came back to Denver. And I didn't actually know her in person. We're friends on Facebook again, but I never actually met her. The woman who took over after she left was named Paula. Paula and I were lovers. Paula is dead now. I still cry when I think about her. She was a neat woman. She and I expanded one another's lives. But I taught at College of Wicca and Old Lore. And we also did large rituals at Dragon Fest, which is a pagan festival up in Colorado. It used to be up in the mountains. I don't know where it is now. It's moved, but I haven't been up there. And that's really intense, doing these big open rituals. But I also did drawing downs at Dragon Fest. Whoa. Those are big. And if you've ever been to Dragon Fest, you may have seen me there. I would paint my face sometimes depending on who I was drawing down or who had talked to me. I drew down Rhiannon, I think, exclusively for the 2 or 3 years that I did drawing down. And it's an experience. It's a big open group. There's a lot of back and forth on whether it's good or not. I think it's wonderful. I think going is an experience that you should have. For my part, I don't actually remember a lot of the encounters because I really wasn't there. I kind of get out of the way and let the goddess fill me when I do drawing down. But that's been my path. And then after that, after I left Denver, big fuss up there, I said something about one incident at Dragon Fest, and it got misquoted in the freaking newspaper, y'all. Freaking newspaper. They didn't talk to me. They just picked my comment up on an open board and freaking misquoted me. And people were pissed at me and should have been. If I had actually said that, I would have been pissed at me. Long story short, it got worked out. People figured out that I hadn't actually said that. I had said something negative about the festival. I had. But it was not about what the paper did. Oh my God, that was ugly. And it really rocked my faith in me and my path. It kind of knocked me off my feet a bit. And for a long time, gosh, 4 or 5 years, my Wicca, my craft was sketchy at best. I still talk to the god and goddess. I didn't do ritual, but I did small things. But I didn't mark the Sabbats. I didn't mark the Esbats. And I'm coming back to that now. In the past 2 years, I've found myself being drawn back more and more. Did a ritual recently in which I wanted to dedicate myself to the goddess I've been working with. I had had a goddess. She passed me off to a goddess. When I did the ritual, the rededication, and just opened my mouth to speak words, I rededicated myself to the first goddess. So, I may or may not speak about that at some point. It's still new. I still need to get some work done. But it's Hecate is the goddess. I don't need to keep that a secret. But how I work with her, we'll see. I'm reading a book actually on devotions to Hecate that's just, it's really, really good. It's very personal. The woman speaks from, you feel like you're sitting there with her, listening to her channel her experiences. And it's a mesmerizing book. I'll drop a link, but I'm going to do a real review on it. So that's kind of how I found my path and have stayed on my path and wandered off my path and come back to my path. I hope you've enjoyed it. I enjoyed blathering about it. I've got some fun stuff lined up for you. I'm going to be interviewing another store owner. She does spell packets that aren't like, here's all the stuff you need for the spell, but it's like, here's some stuff, here's how you can use it, do what you want. So that's my preferred, if I'm going to buy spell stuff from somebody else, even if they tell me, you know, this is how you do it, I'm going to change it up, because I make it mine. You know, you can read a spell in a book and do exactly the spell, and that's fine. If you're intent and you're cool. But I find for me that tweaking it and changing words and rewriting it and refocusing it works better for me. It's how I work. So I that's me. That's another subject. Hey, seek joy, y'all. Pass it on. I'm Arwen of Tarot by Arwen. I think I forgot to introduce myself in the beginning. Bye, y'all.